You are live with Dr. Chapa. Good morning. I am so fired up and excited to be with you guys today. It is a glorious, wonderful day in the neighborhood. So says our good friend back in the day, Mr. Rogers, was it? I believe so. Hey, look, today is a good day. It's a good night. It's a good evening. I'm so fired up to be able to come into your homes each week and teach you how to live better, be better, and stay better, one bite at a time. It's your life, your health, your choice. I like to say that because it is. And when you really understand that you can live better, you don't have to suffer with symptom patterns you weren't genetically born with. When you get educated to walk past the donut, to walk past the sugar, to walk past the excessive amounts of liquid drinks that we get into that are filled full, chocked full of poisons, you thrive. Your family benefits. Your next generation sees the difference, and everybody wins in society. This is how we make the change: is we get healthy, we stay healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, every which way to Sunday. And that's why I come into your homes each week, because I want you guys to know that there is a better way of living. So I love coming to you. I hope that you enjoy the class. I hope you'll share it with your friends, family, loved ones. I hope you'll sign up for our newsletter. I hope you'll be a part of what we're doing every week, every year, every quarter, every month, every day. It's your life, your health, your choice. So stay tuned in. We are talking about holiday eating patterns. We were talking about last week about eating with gratitude. Like, you don't want to eat on the go, and you don't want to eat when you're upset and frustrated and agitated and irritated with life. Because what happens is when you do that, oftentimes, one, you just make poor choices. Number two, you set your gut up for failure when you're in a fight or flight upset stage. So rest and digest versus fight or flight. The rest and digest phase is a healing phase of your nervous system and neurological system called your parasympathetic nervous system, because I had to emphasize the for some reason. The sympathetic system is your fight or flight. It is your go time alarm stage. And when your alarm stage is active, your gut lining doesn't get as much blood flow because you're fighting or flighting, you're running. And so you need blood in your extremities, your arms, and your legs. You need to get the brain out of thinking and creativity and shift into mammalian brainstem activity, which is very reactionary. So your body is not doing voluntary actions anymore. It's doing involuntary actions. That is fight or flight, sympathetic. Well, we have that system in our body, so it's not a bad system. It's just when that system is left unchecked for months, years, that creates chronic fatigue, that creates brain fog, that creates systemic inflammation, that creates cardiovascular stress, that creates arterial issues where the brain can potentially stroke out or the heart can become dysfunctional and having clotting factor. Guys, this is why we say stress is a silent killer. I want you to recognize that gratitude is a cortical activity, which means you have to get up there. And when you start asking yourself, how do I want to respond right now? How do I want to react right now? How do I want to feel right now? You start to go, wait a second, I'm thinking. By thinking, you shift out of that sympathetic zone into that rest and digest parasympathetic zone. So as long as you're not living sympathetic, as long as you're not living fight or flight, you're fine. So we talked about all the different ways we could go into gratitude last week. So this week, we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about eating without guilt. And I know a lot of times people, you tell me there's no fun in how I eat. But the reality is yes, there is. I feel so good. I don't have a headache. I get to remember why, I get together with my family. I'm not sleeping on the couch. This is what this is all about, is teaching you how to eat, cheat, and feel good about it and do things well. So I hope to share some great nuggets of insight and truths. Hope you'll share it with your friends, family, and loved ones. This is going to be a great, meaningful holiday. Christmas is Jesus Christ, the reason for the season, and he is our Savior. I've been doing these Advent writings on my Flipboard and Substack that I hope that you get access to and have enjoyed. They've been very challenging and fun to write myself, and really pushing myself beyond my limits. So I hope you'll tap into some of those cool things that I have. We'll put a comment and a link in the comments so you can go check those out. They're really cool. And be a follower of those things. Those are like newsletters, and I put those out regularly. They're free to the society at large, so people can grow with us, live with us, and be healthy with us day in and day out, mentally, emotionally, physically, and of course, most importantly, spiritually. So how to enjoy the holidays mindfully and stay balanced, where you don't come out of the holidays with 10, 15 extra pounds on, right? So do the holidays make you feel torn? Do they stress you out knowing that there's treats galore? There's sugar everywhere. I mean, look, I know many people think that I live this perfect anti-sugar life, and I might, but my family sure as heck doesn't. There's candy in the next room. There's candy canes on the tree. There is the little elves are bringing, sugary snacks to poison my kids, and I'm allowing it. But I made a decision long time ago, and this is your first habit to not live in guilt. Not everybody in my family believes in the type of care that I offer or ask people to live by. They say it's unrealistic, it's not real, you can't treat your kids that way, da 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 da. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to let food rule my life and my relationships, or am I going to trust God to take care of my family and open the door to those healthy relationships with family specifically, and trust that I have tools and resources galore in my cupboard, in my office, that can help if they get sick, that can help if they get a bellyache, that can help if they have a rash, that can help if they have an earache or tonsil issues or strep throat or whatever comes at them. So I chose many long years ago that I was not going to fight food with the in-laws or with my mom or with the uncles. I was just going to take a step back and let it happen, and know that I want my kids to have a relationship with their family, their grandparents, their uncles, their cousins, not to have a food phobia because I have scared the tar out of them. Fear, false evidence appearing real. The Bible's very clear. We should not be living in fear. So do you have a good relationship with food? Do you have a good expectation of what food is? So recognize that the word treat is just that. It is something that you get temporarily from time to time. So when we look at food as a fuel source, we want to consume food according to Webster's dictionary. It should nourish us, strengthen us, make us vital and vibrant. It should make us energetic. It should restore us. It should heal us at the cellular level. So if the food you're eating is causing your body to malfunction and to fall off the rails, if you wake up with headaches, for example, if you can't get through the day without rocket fuel, if you don't recover well from the gym, so you're feeling kind of like the gym efforts are in vain because you just feel worse whenever you train. Yeah, that's a sign, by the way. It's a symptom that something's wrong in the body. Then you may be overindulging in foods that you think are fuel, but really are sometimes foods, or heaven forbid, a lot of people are consuming what we call never foods. So again, helping you understand, one, the difference between real food, foods without labels, foods that had a mother or father, those can be consumed regularly and often, 80, 90, 100% of your day. So there are a conversation of relationships with food. So if you have a negative relationship with food and you think that, pastries and candies and cakes, you're deserving of eating those, you have to ask the question, why do I feel deserving of something that is a known chemical, that is not even a food? A lot of the high fructose corn syrup based food sources we're consuming on the regular, day in and day out, are so well documented to cause cardiovascular disease. They're so well documented to cause brain dementia and Alzheimer's and neural development issues, ADD, ADHD, ODD, I mean, what DDD do you got? You know what I mean? Like everybody knows somebody that complains with a health ailment, either in their joints or their skin or their lungs or their immune system or their GI tract. And this is oftentimes due to sugar. I just made a video the other day about the amount of impact sugar has on the urinary tract. And if you have any urinary symptoms. And so recognizing that you may have a wrong definition of food. Remember, food should fuel you. Food should nourish you, not these treats that we get from time to time. And so relationship with food. So calculate, inventory, look at what food sources that you're putting in your body each and every day and see, are you predominantly in the no foods, the never foods, the foods that have the 4 deadly food additives? That's high fructose corn syrup. If it's got it on the label, get rid of it. Is it partially hydrogenated seed oils of any kind? Canola oil is terrible for you. Vegetable oil is terrible for you. If you're eating those things, you're clogging your liver. You're setting yourself up for failure. Your body can't keep up. MSG, if you see it on the label, monosodium glutamate, dump it, get rid of it. It's in a lot of your spices in your cupboard. I promise you. I've gone through some people's cupboards and seen. And of course, when you look at these artificial sugars that people are putting in, diet soda, light soda, sugar-free soda, when you look at juice boxes that are diet light, sugar-free, when you look at different energy drinks that have these artificial sugars in it, it is not for you. It's not the caffeine so much, it's the garbage chemicals that make these products taste the way they taste. It's all chemically designed for you to be addicted to. So if you're eating no foods, if you're eating too many sometimes foods, and you're not eating enough foundational foods, then we want to redefine what food is. And that's step one in getting over this idea of the shame game. We don't want you feeling shamed. We want you feeling vibrant. So why is it so hard to stay balanced, especially around the holidays? Well, because there's family traditions. And interestingly, these family traditions have been passed down. Like, for example, I love telling the story of the ham. Mom, the little kid comes to mom and says, why do we cut the ends off the ham? And mom goes, I don't know. This is the way my mom always did it. And so they go to grandma, why do we cut the ends off the ham? And she goes, I don't know. We got to go ask great grandma. And so they go to great grandma, and great grandma goes, well, because I couldn't fit the ham in the pan. You see, family traditions oftentimes are done out of necessity. People don't even realize why they're doing the patterns that they have been taught. You see, most people never do what they want to do. They only do what they know how to do. And that is okay, except in the realm of eating fake make-believe food day in and day out, month after month, year after year, and wondering why we're seeing a health crisis in this country, why we're seeing diabetes on the rise, why we're seeing obesity in children as well as your pets. And of course, probably, possibly, you may be 10, 15, 20 pounds overweight. You may be dealing with muffin top. Ooh, I don't even want to say it out loud. And look, I've been called fat. I know, I can relate. People go, Chop, you don't understand. Baloney. Don't eat the baloney. I understand because I have been there. I have fought this fight. For every 100 people floating around out in the world, and all these people, 99 of them have to work hard at staying healthy, staying fit, staying in shape. One gets away with it. Those are the ones we want to thump in the skull. Those are the ones that we want to thump in the eye. Those are the ones that we go, man, I wish I had a metabolism like you. But the reality is you got to be thankful, again, going back to gratitude, for what you have. You have life, you have breath, you have the body you've been given, and it may be a little bit toxic because of genetics. It may be toxic because you're eating the wrong foods. It may be toxic for a slew of reasons, but does not give you rhyme and reason to not take care of you. You got to take care of yourself. So we are tempted by a lot of processed food today. So even the foods that grandma used to make, great grandma used to make, the quality of ingredients were so much better. And nowadays, the quality of ingredients we're getting access to is so much less. 1 cup of spinach in 1920 is equivalent to 60 cups of spinach today in 225. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. But the reality is that is why the foods today, even if you're eating relatively traditional holiday foods, are still causing imbalance, and causing inflammation. Now, is one meal one day going to hurt you and throw you completely off the rails? No, that's the important message. But what if you consumed 75, 80% of your meal healthily and all week long, all month long in the holiday season? You ate clean and you ate real food, and you recognize the difference between sometimes foods, never foods, and of course, real food. Guess what's going to happen? You eat more real food, you're going to have real health. If you eat make believe food, you're setting yourself up for make believe health. And social pressure is coming. You're going to be hit with it at the school parties. You're going to be hit with it at the church functions. You're going to be hit with it at holiday, thankful parties where people bring in and say, hey, we're thankful for you as being our patron, our customers. And here's something great to eat. Here's some alcohol to drink. Here's some processed garbage to eat. And it will get you every time. So social pressure isn't just in the holidays. It's day in, day out. It's everywhere, every day. And I feel it even. People judge me for eating the things that they want me to eat, as if I'm deprived or something. I can make my own decisions. I'm a big boy, and my mom taught me to cook. I'm thankful I can get in the kitchen and wrestle up some grub. Last week, we had a Bible study at the house, and my wife was running errands all day. I was running work all day, and we got home and we didn't have enough. So I asked my mom to bring a rotisserie chicken. And some of you might go, well, there's a bunch of poison in that. And maybe. But in this case, better than a Snickers bar, better than something frozen dinner out of a package, 100%. So then I threw in 4 sweet potatoes in a Instapot. I chopped up some onions. I took the chicken, I deboned it, and I threw some healthy, sugar, not sugar free, but it didn't have any sugar type of spices on there. So the spice I use are all like garlic and salt, pepper, some paprika, things of that nature. And I put that and threw some bacon in the oven, cooked it all up. Inside of 50 minutes, I had a meal for 6 people. Pretty awesome. And so you don't have to be Chef Mike to, be awesome in the kitchen. An Instapot will make you a hero. A sous vide can make you a hero. Just being quick on your feet and being able to pull in or have somebody pick up a chicken at the store can make you a hero. And everybody pitches in and gets something done. And now we've got a quality meal that we can study the Word of God over, and break some bread and have some fun. We just broke potatoes, not bread. All right. So emotional eating is common. You have a stressful day. You have a stressful week. You're worried about who you're going to hang out with over the holidays. Emotional eating, unfortunately, is one of these signs that, left unchecked, causes us to feel like we need comfort food. And so these 3 statements are huge. And so we have to recognize your life, your health, your choice. How are you playing out the week knowing you're going to go hang out with people that might stress you out this weekend? How are you going to, choose well the day of the event, Christmas Day or Thanksgiving Day or wedding day or whatever celebratory day it is? And how are you going to eat that morning? Are you going to have a heavy protein, heavy fat breakfast? You better, because logs on the metabolic fire. Do you know that there's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate? That means your body doesn't need carbs. Why? Because you have 5 hormones that raise blood sugar. You have 1 that lowers it. So eating protein, eating fat will stabilize your blood sugar, boost your metabolism, and help you break free of the want to of eating garbage day in and day out. You won't have the cravings. So understanding guilt in food is just a part of the world as we know it. We recognize that people day in and day out are struggling when it comes to feeling the pressures of the day, the week. They got to go out on a date, so they can't look weird if they eat funny. Hey, look, be honest, be truthful with yourself. Know who you are in Christ. Know who you want to be. Don't pretend that you're going to go out and eat junk food day in and day out and hope to win over the heart of the person on the other side of the table. Let them know that you'd rather live well, be well, stay well through food, and we're going to live better lives. And I'm not saying a hamburger's bad for you. I like a hamburger from time to time, but the reality is that the average American's eating the same 11 foods over and over again because that's what they've been trained to do. Guilt comes from feeling out of control. You feel like people are pressuring you and you don't know how to say no. I'm going to teach you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No. Try it again. 1, 2, 3. No. Come on. Just say no. It's okay. I remember going to school as a kid. They had this program, the DARE program, that said, just say no. Now, they were talking about drugs. But do you know that a lot of the foods you're eating are out of drug manufacturing places? Do you know that they, in your body, act on your system and suppress it and cause it to denature and to become inflamed? That sounds a lot like a drug, a chemical, something that your body shouldn't be consuming on the regular. Restriction often backfires, leading to overeating. And I get it. People don't want to eat healthy because they think they have to go without. Even on a gallbladder flush, apples, pears, and applesauce that I teach, you're getting 2,000 calories a day. You can do detox with adequate calories and never feel restricted. But recognizing, why do I feel restricted? Did something happen to you as a kid? Emotions also play a major role. Like, one of the biggest things that I wish I could go back and rewrite for my kids is I would have stripped them down into their diapers and let them rub the foods all over themselves. Because a part of their tactile learning would have been experimenting with the textures of these foods and making a mess of the kitchen. So I don't think Tiff or I just realized just how important our skin is and texture learning is. And we didn't allow them to do a lot of that. And I think that's what creates food phoenix. Not that I have food phoenix, because we did good about getting them to eat 17 exposures to the palate. But if we would have been faster on the trigger, we would have had maybe 7 exposures to the palate because they had already rubbed it all over their biggest palate, their skin. And so restriction isn't the answer either. So we don't want you to feel restricted. We want you to recognize that if you're skipping meals because you feel like you have to restrict, you're going to overeat sooner or later. And then when you get that one meal, you overconsume and you eat so fast because you're so hungry, you don't get that leptin response. You don't get that brain stomach response. You don't get that pituitary stomach response to help control that appetite, and you overeat. And oftentimes you give into, well, I deserved it. I didn't eat anything today. I've been stressed today. I'm going to eat me a big old pizza and a pitcher of beer. Doesn't that sound good? Of course it does, but it's not good for you. Nothing below your taste buds wants that. Mindful choices create freedom. So just recognizing when you look in the mirror and you say, today's the day. I'm going to do a better intentional choice living plan today. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to make sure I start my day with protein. I'm not going to feel bad if I get into something, but I'm going to make sure that I get into other things, healthy fats, healthy proteins, butter, bacon, beef, lamb, eggs, turkey, fish, shrimp, whatever the protein source is. You're going to get 3 proteins a day. And even if you do go and indulge in a slice of pie at the meal, the stuffing, because it's family tradition, the whatever that would be, what I would call cheat foods, recognize that you ate well all week and all morning and got yourself to that lunch hour, and you're not starving Marvin. You're not stressed out as much because your blood sugar is more stable, and you're not going to overconsume, and your eyes aren't going to overlook your stomach and consume so much that you feel so bloated and funky that you have to go take a nap. You know what I mean? And then wake up with a food hangover the next day. This is how it works. So I hope that when you go into the holiday, you eat breakfast that day. So many people skip it because they're like, I'm going to eat everything. That's the wrong attitude. Eat breakfast, eat lunch, and then go eat the meal. Or if the lunch is the meal, you've already eaten breakfast, you will still be hungry 2 to 3 hours later. You're in a restful state, or should be in a restful state anyway. It's a holiday. And so that holiday, take advantage of the fact that you don't have to stress that day. It's a mindset. Choose well, my friend, so that you don't suffer in this space and allowing guilt to reign over you. Balanced indulgence. Okay. So when enjoying treats, just be intentional. Recognize that a platter full of fried food, bready products, the browns, if you will, in the left picture there versus the flavorful, colorful, robust, variety plate on the right. Choose wisely. Which one is chocked full of the 4 deadly food additives? The one on the left. Which one might have some? Maybe that preserve, maybe that milk, maybe that, the bread back in the back might have some processed ingredients, but the other things look like they might be relatively healthy. So what if you just take the food on the left, take one thing off that's fried and add one thing of color to it and enhance the meal? Maybe instead of the sandwich with bread on both sides or the cornbread, eat half that sucker. I know I live in Texas and everything's bigger in Texas, but do I need that much carbohydrate in one meal? No, that is family tradition, but some of that needs to be rewritten and indulge, bite into some of that stuff, fine. But eating an entire plate of that is a setup for bloat. I don't care how many enzymes I give you. By the way, you should be on Digest Force on that day. And if you take Digest Force, it has stomach acids, it has bile salts, it has enzymes, pancreatic enzymes to help you break down that food. That's going to set you up for success. Awesome. Very, very awesome. So combine indulgence with nutrient-rich foods is all I'm suggesting. And look at quality, not quantity. Do you need 3 plates in one setting? You could potentially have 3 plates over the course of the day. You have a 12 o'clock meal, a 2 o'clock meal, and a 5 o'clock meal. You could totally do that. And if you had it eating more variety, clean and heavier fat, heavier protein, you'll be ready to eat in 2 hours. I promise. It's the breads, it's the fried oils, those processed oils, those fake ingredients that leave you feeling hungover, tired, and feeling sleepy and really disengaged with the rest of the afternoon. And that's a sad tragedy, man. I get it. Rest is fine, but you don't want to rest because your body put you into a coma, do you? At least I don't. So tips for mindful eating. Pause before eating. Am I even hungry right now? Or am I just feeling emotional? Maybe, you're on a cycle, and your cycle is causing you to crave because your body's doing too much. Your adrenal glands can't keep up, which, by the way, hey, if you are a person that's heavily stressed and the holidays absolutely stress you out, maybe there's a lot to do, or maybe there's people you don't want to see, take my cocktail, Calm Force, OptiForce, and Mineral Force. If you're living on these 3 items, you will feel calmer, cooler, more collected than ever. Your cortisol will come down all week long before the event. OptiForce regulates that cortisol. Love that product. It's got lots of holy basil. It's got some ashwagandha. And ashwagandha, by the way, is safe. 99.9% of you can handle it just fine. Of course, there's going to be a 0.5% that cannot, but don't worry about that. You already know if that's you. The fact that you're even asking that question, but the rest of you, assuredly, you can handle it. Holy basil, none of us take in enough, and our cortisol is riding too high. And day in and day out, when cortisol is left unchecked, our gut lining falls apart, and it creates leaky gut, permeability in the gut. It causes inflammation in the gut. And if the gut is wrecked, you're wrecked. If your gut is malfunctioning and not manufacturing B vitamins, you're tired, you're mentally drained. You make 3 million more neurotransmitters in your GI tract than you do in your brain. So the healthier the gut, the healthier the human. Oh, show. Eat slowly, savor the flavor. What is it that you're tasting? And yeah, I got old girl over here snacking on a macaroon because they're my favorite. And macaroons are the bomb dig. So you got to be careful. Those little suckers will get you in trouble. But they're so good. Indulge the bite. Feel the crunch. Feel the cream. Feel it and sensationalize your taste buds and smile when you're eating it. Know that, man, it is a holiday and it isn't going to hurt me to have a little fun with my meal as long as that meal isn't just a plate full of macaroons. Listen to the fullness cues. I promise you, if you force yourself to eat over the course of 10 or 15 minutes, like every couple minutes, one of my friends, they have an app that their work puts them through a food program, and they can eat for like 1 to 2 minutes, and then they have to take a 1 to 2 minute break. And it's like a timer that is on the app. It's pretty cool. And I think that timed eating could be a really powerful way that we could incorporate into just our daily lives, not for the holiday, but yeah, sure, give it a shot. You just might be that weird person, which I'm trying to keep you from being. I don't want you having a shame or guilt around, I got to eat this because Chapa said so. No, man, don't do that. Just know that there are resources and tools and practice that you would be doing throughout the month prior to holidays or celebratory days that have trained you to eat slower. It's no different than going to the gym, guys. It's no different than reading your books 15 minutes a day. It's no different than any activity that requires a new skill. It's going to take some time and practice. So eating mindfully is a practice. And so listening to those cues, you'll start to listen because you're eating slower. Smart portion strategies. Use smaller plates when that comes time to dessert. That whole cupcake, probably you don't need all of it. But what if you've got a quarter of it, half of it? Because you want the pie too. You want the cobbler too. You want the pudding too, the figgy pudding. Do y'all eat figgy pudding? I don't like figgy pudding. I don't think I've ever had figgy pudding. But there are some bread puddings out there that are really delightful. But using a smaller plate, using one treat that you truly love, as opposed to all the treats or a bite of 3 or 4 treats, gives you essentially that same wonderful, experience that you can indulge in and have balance. Again, we're going heavier with proteins and fats, and then we garnish with the veggies, and then we, put a little bit of starch, and then we have a little. You see how you progressively eat less and less, because we're trying to put bigger metabolic logs on the fire, and we want to make memories. What are we really there for? Are we there for the food? Well, maybe some of you are. I had a sign up one side that said, "Why do I love sugar?" And some goofball said to me, "Because it tastes so good." Well, there's truth to that. But remember, nothing below your taste buds says it tastes good. It actually says, "Please don't feed that to me. It's not healthy for me. It's going to cause my blood pressure to rise. It's going to cause me to have a migraine or a headache. It's going to cause me to have inflammation. It's going to cause me to have symptom patterns that I don't want." And then, of course, make sure that you're drinking adequate water throughout the day. Just looked at a blood report just the other day, yesterday, and it had low sodium. Again, I would say 9 out of 10 people have low sodium. And it's because we feared people into thinking salt is bad. Now, I would say if you're, got the little fake salt box with the girl that has the umbrella, okay, well, that is chemically adulterated, and that stuff might kill you. However, if you eat real salt, the kind of salt that I promote at my office, you will have 80 plus trace elements, trace minerals built in, and you will get value add, electrolytes add. You will get electrical activity in the gut. You will stimulate the manufacturing facilities to make B vitamins, to make neurotransmitters, to keep you strong and mighty as you are going through your day, that you go through your week, go through your month. And then by the time you eat a meal like this, heck, you might even just walk past it because you don't really want it. And I think that's really powerful. So include healthy swaps. What's some new meals that you can bring into your healthy holiday season? What if we, ate a Dr. Chapa friendly gluten-free dish? Like my mom learned how to do a gluten-free fresh apple crisp pie. So we use no, sugary based ingredients. And oh my gosh, it tastes so good. And because when you heat apples, they actually caramelize. So they actually become a little bit sweeter naturally themselves. And we're using the green apples, which have less sugar. And when you just sink your teeth into this, it is unbelievable. It's so delightful. Now, I don't necessarily mean tons of fruit, but again, if you are making healthy swaps and fruit was the choice to go to for a snack, for a dessert, it would be way better. But understand, you can overindulge in fruit. But again, this is a holiday, so we're giving you a green light. What's going to have more nutrients? What's going to have more detox effects? Fruit or obvious sugar? Right, the fruit, because fruit naturally has detox effects. Whereas whenever you eat sugar, it's a poison, a known poison. And of course, mixing and matching a new dish together and building a new tradition would be a wise next level choice and bring sizzle, so to speak, into your holiday season. So choose, whole grains. Like a lot of my patients today are getting a mill and they're milling their own flour, which I think is so cool. And they do that because the refined carbohydrates, they are rancid, they're preservative based, they're chemically adulterated, they are loaded with ingredients that are fake. I mean, why would I eat that? And why would you eat that? So learning to make your own style of dessert it can be fun, and you can incorporate the family and you get everybody enrolled in the process, and we can learn together, grow together, and set new habits together. So lighten up on the sauces. Put the sauce on the side, dip instead of drowned. I watched this one guy take a baked potato. I went to lunch with him, and he put brisket and potato, which isn't fine. Okay, no biggie. But the restaurant served a potato that was the size of my head, and not that would be too big. And then he drowns it in barbecue sauce. I'm like, where's the meat? I mean, you can't even see the meat. And obviously that barbecue sauce is chalked with MSG, chalked with high fructose corn syrup, chalked with partially hydrogenated oil. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And no wonder heart attack is on the rise. No wonder migraines are everywhere. No wonder allergies are, running rampant. You know what I mean? So just use lighter, use the sauces on the side and dip your food into it, and as opposed to just a topping. Everybody knows this, but we rarely apply this. People never plan to fail. They just fail to plan. Don't arrive to the event hungry. I already mentioned it earlier, but make sure you eat breakfast, have a protein snack before, and you will be more in control. Mindful eating doesn't mean restriction. You're still eating your healthy calories and eating the foods you want. Just we're avoiding the mass portion intake overflow that we don't need ever. Why would we stress out our body that way? And the reason you're crashing is because you have 5 hormones that raise your blood sugar. You only have 1 to lower it, and you spiked your blood sugar, and that 1 can't handle the load. And so now you feel overwhelmed. And then unfortunately, that sugar sits in your blood supply, creates inflammation, and your body has to put you to sleep, coma, in order to figure out, how am I going to regulate this mess? Your output, creative memory making power is gone. That's no fun. Eat regular meals to prevent overindulgence all week long. Healthy is starting the week well so that you can end it well. Starting your day right so that you can end it right. Hydrate well. Often mistakenly fixes a lot of hunger issues, craving issues. If you have a food issue and you have issues around food and restricting foods, again, I'm not asking you to restrict it. I'm asking you to eat the water, drink the water first. Put some salt in your water. Make sure that you have protein first before you indulge in the sweet treat, and make sure that the sweet treat is smaller in size. Make sure that you see the food as fuel, not inflammation. Indulge because it's going to restore you, not because you think you deserve it. You see how you start reprogramming and reframing the attitude towards the food. Very, very important to plan ahead. Essentially, go to an event with the attitude, I'm going to enjoy my family. I'm not going to worry about my plate. I'm not going for the food. I'm going for the relationship. I'm going for the memory. I'm going for the laughter. I'm going for the opportunity to see my in-laws and my mom and light up when the grandkids are opening up gifts, or we're riding around on the golf cart looking at Christmas lights, or we're listening to something on the TV of my daughter's favorite, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Family memories and family traditions don't have to be just food. They can be social connections as well that bring us together and help us indulge and love one another well. So focus on the family. Remember that old James Dobson, focus on the family. Friends, focus on the experiences, focus on the memories. Conversations can distract you from mindless eating. Doesn't mean if you're not going to, but when you leave the treats out, make sure there's a ton of protein available and you reach for those first. Train your mind, train your body to do it involuntarily, that you're reaching for a little beef jerky stick or a little meat, plate first and foremost if you're snacky. Celebrate those moments, not just food. Okay, so memory making is food indulgence. I know, because that's what America has trained you to believe. And remember, people never do what they want to do. They do what they know how to do. And so we've all are trained to do it this way. But I'm realigning you. I'm reframing life at its finest, where we come together at the holidays for the right reasons. Christ alone for Christmas. Thankfulness and thanksgiving for Thanksgiving. Celebration and new life for new babies or marriages. This is what it's all about. We want to focus on the family, the friends, and the experience and the conversations. So key takeaways: guilt-free living. Man, Holiday eating is possible. Number one, just know that you can do it. It's just a choice. Intentionality is everything. Mindful indulgence, smaller portions, balanced meals, heavier protein, heavier fat, more color, less fried. This is how you remove or reduce the amount of junk, funk, and trash that's in your body, which is going to make you feel good when it comes time to playing games later. Plan savory meals that you can have. So bring a dish. Start changing the trajectory of the family dynamics as you are setting the stage for your family future, your family traditions. And understand that today marketing has made you believe that you have to eat some of the foods that you're consuming day in and day out, especially around the holidays. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that the marketing is selling you a bill of goods, a lie, and I want to teach you better. And that's why these seminars are coming to you live each and every week. So this is holiday without guilt. This is eating and enjoying day in and day out without guilt. So follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can go to drchapawellness.com. It isn't too late to go ahead and get your detox, because we're detoxing in January, folks, and make sure that you are dialed in to the message that we're teaching, the programs we are building, the people we are uniting, the lives we are changing. It all starts with a choice, and you can participate. That's what's so fun. And I encourage you to take your phone out, get that QR code, go visit my Dr. Chapa Wellness page, look around, look at some of my old podcasts, look at some of the Chill Time with Chapa, look at some of the inspiration, look at some of the movement videos, and share it with your friends, family, and loved ones. We can't, really expand if you don't help us. And this is your message. So what do you want to know? Put it in the comments below. We will build content around what you want to talk about. I try to keep it easy. I try to keep it real. I try to keep it relatable, because we're all fighting the same battle. Food is medicine. Food is fuel. And most of us are eating food that is fake make-believe, that's causing make-believe health and causes us to feel like garbage. So my message to you today is to live better, be better, stay better, one bite at a time. And use the holidays to love the people you love most, not to eat the food that you love most. So remember, Dr. Chapa loves you.